We are ready to go. All right, I will call the meeting to order. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance, flag of the United States of America, to the republic, stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty. Commissioner Young, could you say a few words to welcome everyone to our meeting?
Yeah, welcome to our business meeting tonight. Just want to, in the words of my colleague to my left, this is a place to be heard and be seen. So we're here to work for you and we're here to listen to you. So any concerns that you have, your neighbors have, your friends have, make sure that they relay them to us and we will do our best to act. So we are here to work for you and let's get to work.
Thank you, Josh. All right, next on the agenda is citizens to be heard. These are 4 agenda items only. Do I have anyone here in the township building? I do not see any hands raised at this moment. Anyone in Zoom? All right, let's keep it moving. Township solicitor, Ms. Camp, what do we have?
Let me start over in case anybody on Zoom didn't hear me. This is a public hearing to consider adoption of an ordinance. It would create a new chapter 100 to the Town Code titled Mobile Food Facilities. This ordinance would require permits and provide regulations and safety measures for mobile food facilities in the township. It also provides enforcement penalties and violation provisions. We did advertise tonight's public hearing in the Daily Local News on June 17th, 2024. And I sent a copy of the ordinance for public inspection to the Daily Local on June 3rd. The board worked, I think, effortlessly on this project, trying to get this to where you're happy. It is something that has become popular throughout many municipalities, and I think working with your codes department felt it was something that needed to be regulated in some manner. And it's sort of this, is it or is it not allowed through zoning always was a question. So I think this is nice that you're codifying something that establishes what the rules are. So the ordinance explains the purpose, has definitions, requires a permit for mobile food facilities, and then has restrictions in terms of where they're located, how many are allowed, what times they're allowed to be there, both on public and private property. And then has the enforcement if somebody violates the terms of this, how the township goes about and enforces the ordinance. So that's a summary of the ordinance. Happy to answer any specific questions, but otherwise it is ready for you to make a motion to adopt.
Okay, commissioners, any questions on this? Comments?
No.
Well, I still, this version is much better than the previous one. I still believe that this is a solution in search of a problem. So for me, it's still a no.
Oh, okay. Commissioners, any other commissioners have a comment? Do we have Jane online? Jane, could you raise your hand?
Yes. Maybe.
Got her? Okay, just as a note, Commissioner.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Commissioner Kennedy is zooming in.
Here we are.
Okay, Jane, do you have any questions on this?
I guess from what I can recall, without it being in front of me, we kind of covered all the bases, but I mean, I'm kind of lined up with Josh in a sense because it's going to be like a trial and error for us for a while. So I'm sure we can always go back and amend the order if we find some issues or complications.
Absolutely.
Which we may incur because, like you said, it's something new. So, I mean, if that's an option, then I'm in agreement with moving forward because they're already out here.
Definitely
They're already operating, so.
Yeah, and this isn't a zoning provision. This is a standalone ordinance. So there's nothing that would give, if somebody's operating one today, they can't come in and say, well, it's a non-conformity. I've been doing it without, in compliance with, because you didn't have any laws. So it is something that is of general applicability and can be changed and modified as as the board gets experience in terms of dealing with people that operate these facilities and hearing feedback, etc. So that is not a problem.
All right, then I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennedy. If no other questions from commissioners, I can reach out to the public here in the township building. Any comments? We do have a hand raised. Come on up to the mic, name and address, please. Just, yeah, let's make sure the mic is.
Tony Desario, 251 Loomis Avenue. What are the ordinances? Just that.
What is the ordinance?
What's the list of the ordinance?
This is an ordinance that creates a new chapter in the code to regulate.
What are the ordinances?
I'm not understanding the question.
What's the definition of?
What are the rules? Well, it's a 8-page ordinance, so I can't go through every single word. It, like I said, it defines terms. It identifies what are considered mobile food facilities. It requires a permit for somebody to operate a mobile food facility in the township. It establishes where they're permitted to be located, what types of property, the hours of operation that are permitted, the safety measures, waste collection. It regulates the waste collection, the signage, and then if there's violations, how it can be enforced.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Any other comments here in the township building? Without any hands raised, anyone in Zoom? All right. With that said, I will entertain a motion to adopt the new chapter 100 of Count Township Code titled Mobile Food Facilities.
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second,
Moved by Commissioner Tindaro, second by Commissioner Kennedy. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
All right. Motion passes 4-1. All right.
That is all I have on mine tonight. I don't know if you need me for anything else.
I don't believe so. All right, Kristen, have a great night. Thank you.
Same
Oh
to
my
you.
goodness.
Yeah. You too. That was quick.
All right, next on the agenda, we have the ordinance and resolutions. Don, you want to take this?
Absolutely. Good evening, commissioners. Thank you very much. I have a number of resolutions for your consideration this evening, many of which have been discussed at previous meetings. The first of which is Resolution 2024-13, Mobile Food Facilities Fee. This would modify the fee schedule to accommodate the new ordinance for mobile food trucks. There's really two changes to the fee schedule to accommodate that. The first would be a single use, which would be a 3-day a weekend event. And that would be $50 fee plus a 3% administration cost on that. And then there's a 6-month permit. And that would be a $600 fee with a 3%.
And the single event, I believe, is for a 3-day weekend.
That's correct.
I'm not sure if you said that or not. All right.
And I believe we put in a rain, option for a rain date for the single. We were discussing that the last time.
I don't think we explicitly put it into the fee schedule, but if the permit's not able to be used, we could work with the applicant.
Excellent.
I don't mean to interrupt. It's Raymond. Yes, the rain date is in the actual ordinance.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, commissioners, any questions on the fee rate? No comments at this time. I'll reach out to the public here in the township building. Any hands raised? Any comments? None at this time. Reach out to Zoom. All right. Well, with that said, entertain a motion to approve resolution 2024-13, amending the resolution 2023-1 to add a fee for mobile food facilities.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kennedy, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?
No.
Nope. All right, motion passes 4-1. Next.
Thank you. Next resolution for your consideration, resolution 2024-14, police amendment fees. This would be for special events that the police are asked to accommodate coverage. There's a fee established that hasn't been changed in many years. And this would update the cost of that coverage to reflect the current cost of the police coverage. Of course, defer to the chief if there's anything you'd like here to add. But it's based on the average cost of the officers providing coverage at that event.
Commissioners, any questions on this?
This is mostly like the school district for football games and basketball games.
That's correct. My understanding.
And at the present rate, we are losing money per event,
Yes,
which is
that's a
taxpayer dollars.
good point. This just ensures to break even. We're not making any money off this. This is just bringing it up to the cost to actually provide that service.
Which I think is fair. Any other questions from commissioners, comments? None at this time. Reach out to the public. Anyone here in the township building? No hands raised at this time. Zoom? All right. With that, entertain a motion to approve resolution 2024-14. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion's good, 5-0. Next,
Next, we have resolution 2024-15. This is the Chester County Complete Streets Policy. In, I believe, 2021, Chester County adopted a resolution to support complete streets that incorporating Vision Zero strategies in their transportation management. In that resolution at the county level, they encourage municipalities to adopt a similar resolution at the local level. Essentially, this just incorporates aspects of the complete streets, which is meant to facilitate safe transportation movement with a focus on pedestrian access, so multimodal transportation. And this really reflects the county resolution adopted in 2021.
commissioners, comments, questions?
No.
Excited about it.
Someone is excited about. And as we talked earlier in the week, you said it might have a little influence on some of the grants
In
in the future.
Yeah, so we're working on the appears later on the agenda, the Arley grant. It's a red light grant fund for a potential improvement on Lincoln Highway. And I'd be able to, if adopted this evening, that before the grant is submitted at the end of this month, be able to put in the narrative that it's following, that this is in accordance with the Complete Streets policy that was recently adopted.
Good timing. All right, commissioners, any other comments? None at this time. Residents here in the township building, any comments? Oh, they're all excited, jumping up and down. How about in Zoom? Okay. And then we will entertain a motion
So
to
moved.
There you
So
go.
moved.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Yeah. Motion is approved, 5-0. Next on the agenda.
Next on the agenda, if those who attended past meetings may remember, and of course the board is well aware, we had some difficulties with the technology, which does happen. It's great when we're able to provide the remote access and participation in public meetings, but it fails occasionally. This is a policy to essentially govern the rules of the remote hybrid meetings that we are able to take advantage of here. The question came after that meeting, what should we do in the event that would occur in the future? I looked at some other municipalities that have adopted policies. It's obviously a relatively new technology largely born out of the pandemic. But of course, since adopted for convenience of everyone. This policy promotes the public comment that I know this board and this township find extremely valuable, as was mentioned in the opening comments. So Policy here would determine when a hybrid meeting could take place in terms of quorum, determine what happens in the event technology goes down, and set some additional guidance for other township boards and commissions to adopt this policy or similar policy to help them manage the technology as well.
All right, commissioners, any comments?
I had one question because I know a while ago, before we really got down this road, I was hoping we could have, a lot of the boards that I interact with on Zoom have a policy that people just to share. They have to turn on their camera so that everyone knows who everybody is. We've had a lot of Zoom bombers. Historical Commission. It's a good way to prevent that. I don't know if anyone has any interest in considering that as an addition.
My one comment on that would be, we do have, in fact, tonight, we have somebody calling in from a phone. They wouldn't be able to turn on a video.
Let's
Well,
use
If,
No, like that number on
Oh.
there, they can't
Oh, so
physically
these-
turn.
if you're calling in.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
turn.
I mean, not all phones have that capability. That would be the only drawback on that. Is there a standard policy on having to view yourself? I mean, I know some people like their privacy, but of course, this is a public meeting.
I have seen some policies that would require if a board member was attending, then they would have to be, if possible, present. But as far as the public goes, there's a long-standing, teleconferencing into meetings has been permitted for public. And of course, if you're calling in and you're on a speaker on it's difficult then. So a lot of the policies for public comment did not include that. We can certainly look to see if there are any legal reasons under ADA or any other type of aspects to require being on screen to participate. I did not see any that specifically required public to be on screen.
Well, this is just a resolution, so we can amend this anytime.
Correct.
So we could have further discussions, but this would give us a outline how to move forward. Because
Yeah,
if the system goes down again and we don't have a policy, then we're just
Exactly.
kind of shooting in the
Yep.
dark.
It's listed as an action item, but if the board would care to, this isn't a new policy, I can certainly take a look at anything.
No, yeah, we don't have to approve it tonight.
I was saying approve it
I'm
tonight
fine
and
with-
then continue the conversation.
Yeah.
And we can always just add it to another meeting if we want.
yeah,
Okay.
fine with that.
I did have one other comment. I guess I was reading a different version of this because when I printed it out, it came out like this. But if, we have Commissioner Kennedy on Zoom tonight, and if we had two others, or say we had three others, which I don't think would happen anyway, we need a quorum here in the building. But say we have technical difficulties, she's not able to log in, we still have a quorum here. We are allowed to continue with the meeting, even though she's not attending at that point. And
It-
how would that,
In that situation, it would be at the board's discretion. Legally, under this policy, well, it would be, for example, if a meeting was scheduled for 7:30 and two board members were stuck in traffic.
Mhm.
There's a quorum in the building, the meeting can occur.
okay,
However, the board can certainly wait for those members to arrive and delay the start of the meeting or reschedule that meeting. So in a similar situation as not being able to connect, or if power goes out or internet goes out, at that point, if there's an agenda item later on the agenda, the meeting can be ended at that time and rescheduled, or can legally under the as long as there's quorum in the building, continue. That could be a case by case.
okay. And this is an odd question. How it was written here is say if one of the commissioners cannot make it, it needs to be stated the reasoning why they could not make it. How detailed, or is it just a generalization that, you know, the person, you know, illness was listed as one of the items, but, you know, if they are unable to attend because they're in a different state. How general do we want to get, or how specific?
I don't believe there's any real set parameters on that. If a lot of the policies I looked at did have to try to promote as often as possible to have physical presence in the building in order to establish quorum. If someone's traveling and wants to attend, the technology does allow that. I've been in meetings where the individual is doing international travel and able to participate and attend remotely. So as far as the detail goes, I don't think you have to be too explicit about the illness or the other items why they're not available.
Okay. Great. Yeah, that's all the notes I had. All right. Any other comments from commissioners? Ms. Kennedy?
Oh, no, I'm just listening. And again, it's something that we can revisit. And if we come up with any obstacles or issues, we can always modify, you know, the motions and actions to get it the way that we really want to see it going forward. So it's a good place to start. So we do have something, you know, to guide us through this procedure.
Yeah, I think it's just important to get this passed now because, you know, you always have a repeat of.
I know.
And we have some accountability, you know.
We got some big business to do here, so yes.
All right. Point well taken. I'll reach out to your township. Any comments from residents here in the township? None at this time. Yes. Dan, just state your name and address, please.
Dan Hagan, 217 Park Drive. Just wanted to, hey, how's it going? Just want to say that I always appreciate the Zoom because sometimes by the time I get home and everything, it does make it very easy. But I had just a quick comment, like on this one, the thing that was brought up about the camera or the muting. It's like for these meetings, until I'm asked, I have no control over either of those things, camera or mute. Which I realized on another time I did have control over mute, but I wasn't using it. So I apologize for that time my phone went. So, but like that, I guess that would be the thing, like how, like I get what you're saying on having the camera on, but like at this point I have no control over that.
Oh, okay.
So,
good comment.
I guess it would depend on that or whoever is controlling it.
So we are able in the Zoom settings, without getting into detail, set it so that if participants would join, their cameras would be locked on, just like mute would be either activated or not. We do not have that setting. I feel that's not necessary or valuable, but that would be something that we would be able to control. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. And Abby, I did see Noel had made a comment. Could you read that? It was in the comments. It just flashed real quick.
It is.
I got sharp eyes.
Right.
Paul. Noel says, I'm so grateful for Zoom. Thank you.
All right. Well said. All right. Any other comments from Zoom? All right. This will be exciting. All right. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay. Second moved. You know which resolution. So moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes 5-0. Perfect. All right, next on the agenda, Harley Grant.
Last resolution of this evening, we have resolution 2024-17. This is a resolution supporting the submission of an ARLI grant, and that is the Automated Red Light Transportation Grant through the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. This grant would support some safety, lighting, and pedestrian improvements at two sections of Lincoln Highway on the east and west end. I know when we were originally discussing going after this grant, the initial proposal and the scoping application was for just shy of $500,000. working with Gilmore, and they took a look at it and felt that there were some additional improvements based on the issues at those locations, and their cost estimate comes out to $1,479,220. Now, this grant fund does not require a match, and it's based off the improvements to the roadway. And looking at the data associated with incidents along that roadway, we may not receive all the total amount of funding, but we can hope, and we can do quite a bit with that amount of money. The lighting alone will make a big difference in that section of the highway.
Perfect. Commissioners, any comments?
Get it done.
Great, just congratulations. That's great that we can get that grant.
Hopefully. And of course, you're going to add the completed, complete streets
It's going in the seat.
resolution. Okay.
Pen's ready to sign.
Perfect. All right. No other questions from commissioners. Reach out to the township here. Anyone in township building? We're all jumping up and down.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. Look at them back there. All right. Anyone in Zoom? All right. Entertain a motion, approve resolution 2024-17.
moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And motion passes 5-0. Moving right along.
We had a comment from Don Coughlin. It just went away already.
Do we have one?
Just said,
Grant sounds amazing. Thank you to our township manager.
All right. Shout out there, Don.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have our engineer. Who do we have online? Ross. Welcome, Ross.
Good evening. Thank you.
What
All
do you
right.
got for us?
A couple things on the agenda tonight. So first, I just wanted to give you a further update on the storm sewer condition assessment. I believe it was around a month ago we updated you that we finished the field work. And then, so what I wanted to just mention tonight, I'll just share my screen as well, is that we then went and updated the township's online GIS with all of the data that we collected over the past several months, and prepared a brief letter report that describes the process that we went through and some of the benefits that it gives. And then provided here, this is a static plot from the GIS. So these are all color coded based on our condition assessment. So there's a legend up here as far as excellent condition is green, and it ranges down to like red condition is poor. And then so township staff can zoom around in the online map system and see, okay, all of these storm drains and pipes are in good condition, but then you can go find ones that are in poor or fair condition. So I think this will really help the township target the areas of the drainage systems that are most in need of improvement. So just wanted to let you know that all of that process was completed, and I'm sure there'll be some additional things that come out of it, but just wanted to provide that update.
That is a beautiful thing, Ross.
Yes.
A lot of work involved.
Yes.
Well worth it.
Also, I want to thank the township field crews, because the Public Works and Sewer Department, they both provided assistance to us with opening all of these manholes and storm drain covers, which is a lot of work, and it really sped things up. So we very much appreciate their help.
Yeah, this is half the battle. Just mapping out all the lines where the
And
serious damage is.
All of these structures are surveyed with a GPS survey device. So these locations are all quite accurate. So I think that's really going to help the township field crews, like when they need to go out and find something. We also applied an identification number to every structure. So I think it's just going to make it a lot easier to maintain the system with all these known conditions, accurate locations, and ID numbers so that they can be correctly referred to.
All I got to say is, Ross, you must love your job.
Yeah.
I do love creating maps. And as you know, like color coded maps are my favorite. Just like it's the one's very similar to the road program. Yeah.
Perfect.
Great. All right. And then so the next topic for tonight is relating to the MS4 program. So just have a brief presentation, which is basically satisfying one of the permit requirements is that we present this at a public meeting. So I'm going to just do a little slideshow here. And I know that there's a lot on the agenda tonight, so I'll try to be brief. But so the annual MS4 presentation, and so just a brief intro of what the MS4 program is. It's part of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, which is a federal program from the EPA. They call that NPDES. And then a subset of that is this municipal separate storm sewer system. So that's where the MS4 name comes from. And that's a permit that's administered by PADEP. And so the township has an MS4 permit, and the goal of that is to both raise awareness about pollution that can come from stormwater, and also to create actual stormwater facilities like rain gardens and bioswales to manage those pollutants. And there's also things like good housekeeping and just keeping pollutants like oil products and things like that in correct places so that they don't have any ability to get washed into our waterways and harm aquatic life. So part of the township's MS4 program, it has these 6 minimum control measures. That's what the DEP program calls them. And they range from public education and outreach to actual management of runoff from construction sites to those simple but effective good housekeeping practices. So we'll be touching on a few of these different minimum control measures tonight as we just have this discussion. So one of the key components that occurs each permit cycle, there's typically a 5-year permit cycle for the NPDES permit. One of those things is a pollutant reduction plan. And so that's where an actual stormwater management BMP is designed and constructed to provide reduction of sediment and pollutant loads like phosphorus and nitrogen, actually prevent those things from getting into the waterways. So the typical types of projects that are part of a pollutant reduction plan are things like rain gardens and bioretention basins, bioswales, these types of stormwater management systems. And within the permit cycle for the township, there was actually a BMP constructed over at the Park West site. So you're probably familiar with this because it was completed back in 2022, but that was all part of the same 5-year permit cycle. And the designers of that estimated that from the contributory runoff to it, that it was reducing sediment loads by 24% and phosphorus by 18%. So those reductions were calculated out to be meeting the requirements of the permit. And then something that this actually ties in very closely with the stormwater condition assessment that we did, because all of the mapping of the township's drainage systems is also very helpful for the MS4 program, because each year we go out and inspect a portion of the total number of stormwater outfall points in the township. So the updated mapping system with all those correct locations and the ability to store inspection data from each time that it's checked, and over the years, it's all stored in one place. I think that's really going to help stay organized and be able to do that more efficiently and effectively. So there's another use of that, the other project that we just also described tonight. And then as far as sort of a little bit of public outreach for what can residents do to help keep waterways clean as part of the MS4 program, there are some very simple things that are also very effective, like such as for car care. When you're washing the car, you can even just, if you are able to, park it on a grass surface where if all the soapy water is has a chance to absorb into the ground before it even gets to the storm drains, that can be really effective. And something very important is checking vehicles for leaks frequently and cleaning up any types of oil spills immediately, because those types of things can be very polluting to the waterways, but they're also easy to manage if you just stay on top of it. As far as yard care, cleaning up after pets is important because that reduces the bacteria loads. And you could consider planting rain gardens or meadows or more trees. And those are all features that help to reduce the total volume of runoff and also provide filtering and water quality improvement. And very critically is if you're using fertilizer to just use just the right amount, because adding more doesn't really help you. And all it does is end up washing down into the waterways where it harms water quality and aquatic life. And then just a couple other, these are sort of good housekeeping types things of keeping hazardous and pollutant type substances in, like say in a garage in a covered area so that there's no opportunity for runoff to carry that into waterways. And then something that anyone can really just keep an eye out for is polluted discharges from stormwater outfalls. So you may see water coming out of a pipe somewhere. And if you were to notice that like some sort of oily sheen or like really discolored and unusual looking water, or if something smells very strongly of like an acidic smell or petroleum type smell, or if you see like a whole bunch of dead fish, like a fish kill, those are all indicators that there's like a pretty significant pollution problem in the water that's heading down to the waterway. So if you were to observe anything like that, the best thing to do would be to get in touch with the township or perhaps even the county conservation district to let us know about that so that the source can be tracked down and resolved to the benefit of the waterways. And then some other features, like you can see here that the township has sponsored a number of community cleanup and tree planting type events. These are pictures and flyers from some of those that have occurred in the past. And I'm sure that there will be more in the future. So another way that residents can contribute is by keeping an eye out on the township website and newsletter for future events like that. So that's what I had for tonight for the MS4 presentation. I can answer any questions you may have, or we could just continue on with the other items if there are no questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
I just want to say, Ross, I have sat through a number of MS4s, and this is the first time I really was like, wow, this is cool. Thank you for limiting, bring it down to what we needed to know and saying it so well. So.
My pleasure. Yeah. I know you have a full agenda tonight, so I didn't want to, labor the point. So I'm glad that went well.
You always do a good job, Ross.
Yes.
Let me ask the residents here. Anybody in the township building have a question about this? None at this time. How about Zoom? My only question is, how come you didn't have a picture of Abby at the very end next to the?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I should have.
She runs half this township. Yeah.
Yeah, Abby has been instrumental in organizing those cleanups, and that's a really great benefit for both the township's MS4 program as well as the actually benefiting the community and the watershed.
Did you hear that?
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you. I think she's getting close to 1 million trees she's planted here.
Ooh.
That's great. That's great.
All right, appreciate it, Ross. Yeah, let's move on to the next item.
Sure. Yep. So the next items, we'll just tackle these two together. So these relate to the Reed Street project. So the first one I'd like to cover is change order number 5, which is just a quantity adjustment change order. So we've tracked all the quantities of work done during the course of the project, and then this wraps everything up and adjusts everything so that there was a certain estimated quantity and we adjust it so that it's exactly what was done. And that makes the balance to finish for the project $0.00. And in this case, we're actually doing change order number 5 is a reduction of $99,000 or so. So we're going to come in about 6% under the original bids for the project. And I think a major contributor to that, you'll probably remember the adjustments of the storm pipe profiles due to some rock investigation that we did.
Yes.
So I think that really made a big difference for us and actually ended up bringing us in a little under budget by about 6%. So that was pretty nice to see. And then, so I guess as far as the actual action item for change order number 5, that would be to approve the decrease of the contract by $99,074.69 as the quantity closeout change order.
And the total job originally it was 1.2 million. a little bit of a bump from some of the change orders, 1.27, but yeah, so overall, we saved about 77,000 from the original.
That's correct. Yeah, like a net decrease around 70 to 80,000. Yep.
That's a good chunk of change.
Thank you.
Very good, Ross. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions on this? Kudos.
Kudos.
All right.
Good
Questions from Jane? Was that you, Jane?
No, I was saying it's great. I mean, like Ross, you really go in and you get these projects done. You're knocking them out of the ballpark.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really did enjoy this one. It was great to see it come together, and I think a lot of the residents been really happy with the improvements there along Reed Street.
Good. Great to hear.
I got to go up there and see that.
I walked through about halfway through. It's just amazing. Haven't seen the final product. Residents here in the township building, any comments? How about in Zoom world? None of this time. Okay, we'll do each one. Entertain a motion to approve the final payment, application number 9, in the amount of $59,490.21.
Well, if I could interrupt for just a moment, I think it would make sense to process the change order first because that is reflected on the final payment application. So I wonder if we might be able to there
Change
to
order number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the change order number 5 for contract closeout and a reduction of $99,074.69.
So moved.
Jay. Second.
Okay, did you get all that, Denise? They were all jumping at it. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion's good, 5-0. You can figure that out, Jane, or Denise. And then approval of final payment, application number 9, the amount of $59,490.21.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Young, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ross.
My
You did
pleasure.
a great job.
All right. Thank you. Yep. It's been a pleasure working on that project but on to the next ones.
All right.
Thank you again.
Have a good evening,
Good
everyone.
night. Oh, happy July 4th.
Yeah.
Right.
You too. Yes. Yeah, that's right. We won't see you until afterwards.
Midweek. Ouch. All right.
Good night, everyone.
Next one. Take care, Ross. Next on the agenda, Township Manager.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I feel pleased the board if it would be possible to switch the order of these. Really just a quick discussion on the right to know. I just need some guidance from the board, and then I know we're all excited to dig back into the holiday decorations. So we're we close on that. Would that be acceptable? So
That would be fine.
all right.
Candy canes.
Upon further review, the initial thought was to just insert the anonymous policy and the right to know. This is regarding right to knows received that the individual requesting the right to know is not identified. Largely, these are, they're being sent out to the entire state or states with AI. Starting to see them pop up a little more. There are services being offered, and the Office of Open Records is, saying essentially if you receive a right to know, you have to answer unless you have a policy in place. We do have a policy in terms of it is on the website, and it's really adopting the state policy. We do not have a formal policy adopted locally. We can simply put in the anonymous request information, saying we're not responding to fully anonymous requests on the website. But if the board would prefer, and I would perhaps recommend, it would be good to have our own policy. If there's ever a challenge to a right to know, first thing the Office of Open Records is going to ask for is what is the policy in the township. If we have one that's adopted and on file, it's not going to influence the decision, but it does make it, it's good to have. So really, before we dive into that, to adopt the policy, it'd be very similar to the state right to know policy, but we would have to have it reviewed by the solicitor and would be staff time. So I wanted to see if that's the direction you'd want us to go down, or if you simply want it to be inserted on the website.
Commissioners, comments?
So the anonymous policy, Abby, you probably know more because you deal with the volume of them. What Like, are they large scale? Like, ask everybody that got a fence permit in the last 5 years, or
Yes. The ones that we most recently received were, they wanted, it was 5 separate requests that came within half a second of each other, all about IT services, like lists of everyone in the township who does IT. They wanted the names of all our contractors, every agreement, every like bit of information about that. So they're
and there's
pretty
no
cumbersome.
name, no phone number related to it.
So with this particular one, there is a name and an address, but the name is the owner of the website where you go to submit the returns. So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
go in, it's a paid service. You can go in, fill out what question you want or what documents you're looking for, and then I think just check boxes of how many places you want to send it. It comes up under his name, but it was like the first page of Google results to figure out what it is. So that one's
And how, I mean, how much time, like if you get a volume like that, how much time does it
well
take?
for this one. The police also got it. All 5. We got 5. I mean, hours, multiple hours. Because I review it, I find what I can, and then I forward it on to other departments. So it involves Lisa. It would have involved a lot of hours from Help Now. The police department, like tens of hours.
I'm just, and do you get like little anonymous ones like, hey, can I have this public record? Or I'm just trying to ascertain whether these are mostly voluminous type of asks or whether it's
bogus.
yeah, or whether it's like an actual citizen who just, their neighbor has a dispute, they don't want their name.
I've never gotten one
Okay.
that I recall. So everybody's usually pretty willing.
Okay.
And just in terms of any complaints or things of that sort, those are not subject to right to know. So if anyone does file a complaint or notifies the township, and that property owner comes in and wants to know who, filed that complaint against them, we would not release that information. That is not subject to right to know. It's anonymous, but in a different way.
Just to add one thing. So we have 5 days to respond, where we could ask for 30-day extension. Some of the requests are a little ambiguous, and we will actually reach out to the requester for them to qualify, what they're actually asking for. The danger of not having a policy is if we get one of those requests that require some degree of clarification before we respond, and we don't respond, we would technically be in violation of the law in the absence of a policy to support our decision.
Yeah, I think it is needed.
Yeah.
It's really, what we're hoping to is design it so it'll weed out the people that are just making us do their homework versus a true resident that has a concern.
Yeah, that was my only concern, is that if we're getting tons of residents, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like
No.
it's somebody through AI or through a website.
I think the concern statewide is as technology improves, we're going to start receiving a lot more of these, and we're advising way to get in front of it, because it is a time-consuming process. It's a good process. It's meant to provide public records to the public, which is a good thing. But when you have companies set up like this to really charge corporations to get this data that then they sell to real estate agents, things of that sort, like large corporations, it does become a burden.
Okay. Commissioners, any other comments on this? None at this time. That's the residents here in the township building. They all signed their names to the request, so we're good here. Anybody in Zoom? No, none at this time. Whatever you can do, start putting something together. We'll just beat it up a little bit, but we'll get it right.
Excellent.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the exciting part.
Okay, well, I'm sure everyone's wondering why we brought one of the banners from streetlights into the meeting room this evening. And this was Abby's idea to show scale. And I believe there's some examples that have been put together just to get some feedback.
Lovely. Hi.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the banners are 5 feet. And you can see up there what one looks like on a pole. This is out in front of Wawa. They don't look 5 feet up in the air now that I'm
Oh.
looking at it, but so for example, just size wise, snowflakes come in 4, 5, and 3 feet. And I kind of mocked them what that would look like from the sidewalk. Just to give you an idea.
Did you mock up the candy canes?
I did not.
No.
Do the candy cane in the wreath.
I know Tony wanted to see the candy canes.
This will be a hard decision. I think
Yeah.
we all have our own ideas.
The wreaths also come in all 3 sizes. Most everything else is one size fits all. So
Where do you want to go with this?
Well, my
Oh,
only
really?
thought, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jane.
But my only thought is if we get too much into like a Christmas theme, we won't be able to carry it into the new year, you know, where something like the
Like that.
star or the snowflake, you know, you can carry that, you know, into another month, you know, to display if you choose to, or a wreath, you know. But if we get into we got to watch it because again, we have people with different cultures and different beliefs, things like that in the township. So we got to try to take that into consideration, like kind of what kind of meets the theme for everybody without being offensive. You know what I mean? It's just a touchy situation. Sometimes you know, we're thinking one way, but people are thinking differently. Like that's offensive.
Here. I'm with you, Jane. Here. How do the snowflakes come in colors?
Yeah,
The colors.
like you know, the blue or the
I saw
Apple.
yellow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could get different bulbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be nice.
They also have about 5 different designs of snowflakes.
Yeah, and I'm
Pick
sure
one.
they have multicolor.
Are we going to be adding the banner as well, or is that a thought?
Well, we would have to take the banners down to put the snowflakes up and then put the banners back up. They use different mounting.
Hmm.
All right, but you're going to be putting up the banners?
These banners are all
Yeah,
already up.
They're up.
Yeah. Now, if
I
that's-
just deleted it from the photo.
Thank you.
that is 5 feet right there, but
Wow.
they do not look like 5 feet
Yeah,
from the
5 by
street. So,
5 looks like the size.
yeah,
The
5
other
by
one,
5
you
might
can
be
barely see it.
the go-to. So we just have to figure out which item, which is not going to happen tonight because I know we all
No.
have, but I'd love to hear from the residents again. So let me reach out to the township. Anybody? Oh. Tony DeSario is asking what type of material this is.
I think they're all metal. I'm not sure what kind of metal. Yeah. Oh, you mean the banner or the snowflake?
The snowflake?
The banners are I don't know, canvas. They're like boat canvas.
Oh,
They've
the
lasted
banners
pretty
are
long.
already up. Yeah.
We have 15 or 20 of them up.
Tony's too busy walking on the
Like it's every-
trails. Yes, Alicia, come on up.
The trail leads right to Thorndale.
Oh.
Yep.
I agree with Jane about regard to
Yeah,
culture and things like that. But I'm not personally a fan of color. That's just a personal opinion because white is more classic. And then if you have decorations along the highway, you could get pretty crazy looking, you know?
Mhm.
But as an idea, just for everybody's sake, maybe we can see what some other townships have done, maybe come up with some examples of what their downtowns look like. And we can get an idea to see if we want to copy a little bit. I don't know, because some of them are pretty well done. They're pretty classy looking. So just a thought to help us maybe.
Fun.
Does the city put up?
5 foot. Yeah, happy to stand next to that flag there.
Does the city put anything up or the
I thought
borough?
Downingtown does, right?
I don't remember.
But the city of Coatesville,
I thought they put wreaths up.
Downingtown has wraps, and then I think they have red bows on the top.
That's right, they do.
oh, the red boat. Okay. Well, let's do some homework, see what the other townships are doing.
I think we need to go with the larger size.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah.
Clear on that. We're gonna need the flag.
Excellent idea to bring that in to give us the perspective.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
And-
we'll check out what some other options are, but we'll continue the conversation. Be the holidays before, you know. it.
Excuse me,
And-
Don.
Oh,
Excuse
yes, Jane.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
saying, with all of that said, are we still on schedule as far as changing the light poles in the zone that we identified so that we can have electrical services on those poles?
We should be,
Or will that
yes.
happen at the same time, pretty much?
It should not take long to change the post. We should be absolutely fine getting those swapped over and modified before the holidays. I think there is a timeline as far as ordering. We have to have some lead time to actually get the decorations back to the township in time to put them up.
They said 9 weeks to be safe, depending on the
So
design.
Okay. So we're almost there.
We have homework.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. And not to get ahead of myself or ahead of everything else going on, but there are other holidays throughout the year. July 4th is around the corner. That might be a possibility a couple of years down the road. I don't know. But this is a good start.
Yeah.
We should be celebrating here in the township.
Yes.
We have a lot
All
to
right.
celebrate. Yep.
A lot to celebrate.
Yep.
All right, Don.
Well, thank you. That's all I had this evening.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, get to the final stretch here. Oof, meat and potatoes coming up. Board minutes to approve, May 30th. Commissioners, any comments, changes needed?
I dropped the ball. I didn't get my changes out on May 30th. I'm sorry. Can I just punt that one? Go on the other one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Question, there was something sent out this afternoon that I didn't look at. What was?
There was Johnny Higgins. I corrected his last name.
Okay.
So yeah, just a bunch of typos, right? Yeah, that's what we were just going through this afternoon.
There's nothing major changed.
Mm-mm.
No, there's nothing substantive. It was small, just typos that were corrected.
Excellent.
All right. Entertain a motion to table the May 30th.
So moved.
Moved?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Tindaro. All in favor? Yeah?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes have been tabled. Entertain a motion to approve June 13th minutes.
So moved.
I moved by Commissioner Evans, second by Commissioner Kennedy. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Minutes have been approved. Planning Commission minutes from March 19th. Finally got them. All right. Any questions on that? If not, entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes have been acknowledged. 5-0. Moving on to financial report.
Hello,
We have Lisa on Zoom.
Hey,
how's everybody
Welcome.
today?
good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. So I wanted to start off, the finance department is moving slow and steady into the second half of the year. I believe the finance committee will probably meet sometime in July, and we'll review the first half of the year and also hope to start a kickoff to the 2025 budget season. And with that being said, our department director meetings will probably start the last week of July. And hopefully we'll have a nice smooth transition into 2025. So that's kind of exciting. Our township audit is winding down, and we hope to have more information for the next meeting in July. I will keep you posted week to week as that comes into fruition. That's about it. I do want to bring to the board's attention just something that's on the check run. It's packet page number 75. It's just an unusually high expense check number 52262. It's a signal service check that was cut for a little over $75,000. And that was due to an incident that was repair and replacement of an incident that happened on Veterans Drive. So far, we've been reimbursed about 55,000 of that. The balance of that should be coming hopefully within the next month or two, and that should close out the insurance claim. So just bringing that to your attention, and that's all I have.
All right, commissioners, any comments on the financial report? None at this time. Residents, any comments? None at this time. And we do have a check run 52,154 to 52,317, and the manual check at 304. Commissioners, any comments on the check run? If not, entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
And moved by Commissioner Dendero, second by Commissioner Young. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Check run has been approved 5-0.
Have
Awesome.
a good
Thank you,
night, Lisa.
commissioners.
Thank you,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Have a good one.
Very much.
Happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th.
July 4th.
Okay, now the meat and potatoes. We'll start with building life and safety. So Ray online.
Hey, Ray.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. And you guys were just talking about video, and I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulty where I'm at, and I can't get my video up for some reason. So I do apologize for that. I'll be quick. I'll just hit a couple of highlights. You guys have my report, but two long-standing or fairly long-standing vacant commercial properties are finally getting some work done and will be occupied hopefully in the next couple months. Both of them are on Zinn Road. One you know about, that's the daycare. They had a demo permit and the demo was done, and hopefully they will have a renovation permit coming in soon. And the other one is the dentist office that actually is switching to another dentist. They actually had both a demo and they do have a renovation permit. So hopefully they will knock that out. It's a pretty big renovation. It's actually Chester County Dental Arts is moving from the small building up on Lincoln Highway to the old dentist office on Zinn Road. I'm sure if you drive down Lincoln Highway, you'll see the Hills at Thorndale Woods continues to move along. We have had some difficulties. Obviously, a large scale project like that, adjacent to a community that's already built out is going to create some issues. The contractor doing the work and the developer has been cooperative, every time we've ran into an issue. So hopefully they'll get the infrastructure in and stabilize that area soon so we can limit that. We did get a new project that's in review, 4109 Lincoln Highway, the old Cohen's salvage yard, conditional use and land development was submitted. So I think everybody's excited for that project to start making its way through reviews, and it should be, in front of the board hopefully in August. That's what we're shooting for. Firefighter applications close tomorrow. I believe while I was gone this week at training, we received a few more. So I think we're between 8 and 10 applications, which isn't great. But a lot of municipalities actually in Chester County, our part of Chester County, are hiring career firefighters to supplement the volunteers. So I didn't expect a ton. So hopefully that'll go smooth. Again, testing is July 30th. The multi-municipal EMS group held a meeting in May. We continue to work through that and work with Minquist to support them, and as a group, figure out how we're going to continue to support EMS and fund that for the years to come. That's about it.
All right, thank you, Ray. Commissioners, any comments?
No.
I did have one ask.
Yes, sir.
If Abby could take her camera up to the Hills of Thorndale Woods, get some action shots. Because that is changing the whole
Yes. Oof.
the you know, what you see when we, Tony and I, we drive out of our neighborhood, all we see is a big wall of dirt, and soon we're going to see homes. So I just figured get that on the record for historical reasons.
I will,
Those train riders.
I will work with Abby to, make sure that she can get safe access to do that.
Get some action shots, yeah.
In your free time.
Okay. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it.
No problem, sir.
Oh, and I love this new one, community enhancement.
I'm excited. So I was excited to write a report for you guys for the first time, but I could talk a while, but I won't. We had our first sustainability task force meeting in May, and it went really well. And the group we've put together is awesome. So we've had since had a second one, and we're moving right along. It's going to be a great product in the end, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So appreciate that. Otherwise, one thing I didn't know if everybody knew about were the new resident postcards we started sending out this year. So Ray's office pulls me a list of both folks that have bought new homes as well as rentals that have switched hands. And every month I've been sending out a welcome to Calm postcard. It has a QR code that sends them to a new resident's website on or webpage on our site. And invites them to sign up for the newsletter. So we don't have good data about how many of them are going to the site, but I've been getting a lot of newsletter signups through that site. So they're definitely getting them. That's working well, I think. It's a pretty inexpensive way to get all the information across. I encourage you to check out that new residents page. It's pretty cool. And a bunch of social media stats, numbers, followers just go up, up, up. And I thought it would be fun to put the top 5 posts from May so you could see which ones were the biggest. The career firefighters post blew the rest of the posts out of the water. So it got a lot of attention at the very least. People can't say they didn't know we were hiring. A little overview of events. And that's about it. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, commissioners, any comments, questions?
When's your next sustainability?
It's the second Tuesday. So
I think
the 9th.
Yeah, we did.
okay.
Thank you. That was great. Great to have
Thanks,
you.
Abby.
Yeah, thank you.
Director.
And what I did like about that is how many shares it shows. Many times people actually share it to their Facebook page. The word's getting out. It's nice. All right. I like the addition. This will be interesting. All right, next on the agenda, Ingleside Golf Course.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Hi.
Hello,
Nicole, welcome.
Hi, Nicole.
I gotta come and get one of those sweatshirts. I like that.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
One. So May was pretty good. Revenue at 93,000, 2,700 rounds of golf, which was awesome. I will say though that June, with a weekend left, May was awesome. Then it being very hot and dry. It's great. Saw our youth camps in spring one, and then fall one starts in the summer. First tee of Greater Philadelphia is still playing at the golf course, which is awesome. It's a program designed for youth, build character, learn the game of golf. It's a really cool program for them. We've never done it before at Ingleside, and we're excited to host them. Awesome. I don't have much other than that. It's been very hot and dry, exhausted, and but we're still having fun, making progress.
Oh, that's good. Commissioners, comments?
Great job.
We are so thankful to have you, as you know. We're doing a great job with the golf course.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Nicole.
All right. Minquist Fire Company, who do we have?
Good evening. Thank you, Derek, Dry, EMS operations and everything. So for May, warmer weather, see more calls, as included in your packet there. We saw an uptick, for the month of May. Also, some community, outreach events have started to take off for us. Car seat checks, CPR classes. Now that we're getting into the summer months, we're starting to see a uptick in that, which is phenomenal. Other than that, things are going well. Appreciate your guys' support and ladies. Sorry, but be safe. Enjoy July 4th, and remember, leave 5% fresh.
All right. Thank you so much, Derek.
Thank you.
Just have one question for you, Derek.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was looking at the report and it looks like your covering of other ambulance services jumped significantly since the last report.
It did. And that's a systemic problem across all of EMS. It's not just strictly for Minquist. More people call 911, longer wait times at hospitals. So it's a global effect, not only here in Chester County, but honestly nationwide EMS system. So you are correct. There was an uptick. Also noticed an uptick in our calls as well. So overall, it was a booming month.
And just, can you flip to that? Sorry, and just to be clear on your report here, when it says calls covered by other agencies, third call, fourth call, and missed call. So the third call and the fourth call, does that mean that you showed up, but it took you those
No,
calls?
so what that means, to clarify for your report, our system design is 2 MICUs at night, 3 MICUs during the day. So the third call pertains more towards the nighttime coverage.
Okay.
Whereas that fourth call, because we have 3 MICUs on, the fourth call would be the daytime coverage.
Okay. And then you had 5. What does IFT mean?
So that is the critical VA
Okay.
contract that we have.
Okay.
as it is.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I will say I was thankful to see the separation out from the VA reports.
Yeah, that was at the request of the committee, and they're doing a phenomenal job. So glad it worked out. I'm glad we able to be there.
Yes. Thank you so much for all the work.
Thank you.
Hey, police chief.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi.
My badge.
No milestones to report for the month of May.
Good.
The 3 hires that you approved, Jablonski and Polig, start with us on July 8th. And Costello begins the academy on. Anticipated graduation date is sometime in. As you know, I've been reporting on our responses to the intermediate unit. We were there 73 more times in May. Through May 31st, 402, ended the school year at 413. To put things in perspective, we were at the Coatesville School District facilities 28 times, and 18 of those were after hours, so only 10 of those responses were actually during the school day.
You said you had a meeting scheduled, right? Or is that not?
Yeah, we've had meetings. I know we have another meeting scheduled next Tuesday. Report back to you.
I was going to say, I can't make Tuesday. Your next meeting, I think maybe one of us or 2 of us should show up.
How many police forces are going to the school other than Callan?
To the intermediate unit?
Yes,
No one.
just
We're the only,
Callan.
yeah, we're
You're within the home district.
correct. Yeah, since they're located in the township, all service calls are dispatched to our department.
Have they thought of sharing with other areas? Because other people's children go to these schools?
Agreed, they have, I don't know what percentage of their student population is from outside of the immediate area or the
Mhm.
Chester County area, but I know they have students there from Reading, Montgomery County, Delaware County,
Jeez.
um,
Okay.
Bucks.
How about like that it's close with Coatesville? Can
Well-
something, some sort of an arrangement be made?
They're in our township.
Yeah.
The
to
one
work
comment,
with another township with the overload? because
Unfortunately,
you're
they're
getting
more than,
swamped.
they're too happy to have it located in Callan.
Ah,
That's the reality of it. I mean, if
no,
there's an
seriously.
incident serious enough that occurs where we need support from agencies outside the township, we have good support from our local partners.
Okay.
And we've had to use other agencies for responses to the high school, or even during sporting events where we offer special duty police services. We tap into other municipalities that
Mhm.
comprise the Coatesville Area School District, but we're the primary response
It's
agency
a lot of
for
work
the intermediate. It
and
is.
it's very stressful.
Well, and it takes a
Financial
lot of
burden.
resources away from the
Where
rest
they're
of the
needed.
township.
Right. The rest of the township needs you guys.
I just got
Gas.
the CCIU rep from Coatesville School District, so I'll reach out to her, and see if maybe we can't get a meeting, with somebody from Coatesville and, us.
Oh, man.
I did read an article that Malvern is opening up a new CCIU. Would this relieve any tension or pressure on us?
In some of the meetings, they did mention some new facilities coming online in other areas, including the one you referenced in Malvern.
Mhm.
It was not made clear exactly the use of those facilities. I'm not quite sure they have all the long-term plan in place just yet. But yes, you're correct. They are opening a new facility in that area.
Chief?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Next, Public Works.
Good evening, Mr.
Huggins, right? Huggins.
Huggins. Short and sweet. For this building here, we did a little upgrading with the dehumidifiers to help out the humidity in the office area. So we have one over in the manager's area and one in codes area. So that should help out. Just pretty much general maintenance stuff we've been doing, helping out cleaning up at the farm and stuff like that for the events, and repairing damaged stuff that was damaged due to vandalism. So, you know, got a couple good carpenters in the group now. So
yeah,
and they love going up there doing the work. So
Yay.
Thank you.
yeah. So we had go back to parks. We have two new summer help, Charles and Cy Rose, and they're from Kutztown College. They come on part-time for the summertime, so they've been helping out Abby with all her stuff, and you know, helping out Public Works with cleaning the parks and everything like that. So they've been doing a real good job. And our big project, we're pretty much, well, I had to put this out here for the secretary because she wants to let everybody know that these parks are being rented out at a good number as far as Municipal Park and Lloyd Park. You know, people are renting them out and getting phone calls every day for them. So, and pretty much got to turn some people away from some dates because we got them all booked. People are liking our facilities.
Good thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good to hear.
Road crew been helping out with the litter, you know, cleanup that Abby been running. They've been coming out doing that, flagging for Abby and everything like that. So that's a pretty good thing. And then the stormwater infrastructure thing that I would like to thank Ross from doing that assessment, because that's going to help us out in the near future. So we can pinpoint, you know, where we need to focus at with infrastructure. So, you know, we did touch on it, and I talked to Ross about that and thanked him, and I'd like to thank him again because that will help us out to focus on stuff we need to do. And that's about it. Glen Ridge is almost wrapped up. Next week we'll be paving, restoring the road, and we'll be out of their residents' hair down. Looks good down there. So it'll be photos to come and everything like that next month.
All right. Perfect.
Mr. I just want to thank you personally and your crew for everything you guys did to make the street sign dedications, something that will be memorialized for a long time. And the signs look great. And if anybody hasn't seen them, if you get an opportunity to come out to the Carver's Court area, just take a look up, and they're really very nice. And I know the families from the expressions, and for all of you that took time away from your busy schedules to come out, it was just something to marvel at. It's beautiful. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you for everything you've been doing.
Thank you, Johnny.
At the, place looks great.
You're a busy department. Yeah. And I did see it.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
I saw a new piece of wood on our sign.
Snow this year, Mr. Huggins.
What was that, Jane?
The almanac said it was going to be a lot of snow this winter.
Oh, we're getting ready for it. We're getting
A
ready.
little too soon to make a comment like that.
Degrees.
95 degrees.
I forgot to tell you, we're working on your sign.
I did see that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was just wood's up there now, letting it dry out. They put paint on it in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Looking sharp.
All right.
All right.
All right. And last but not least, Thorndale Volunteer Fire Company. Patrick, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Good evening. Short and sweet. Obviously, our motto, just like everybody else, is busy.
Yeah.
Very busy, actually, in many different ways. Obviously, our call volume is growing rapidly this year in many different aspects, not just one particular. Obviously, as noted, it's been a very warm and dry start to June. So we're starting to see a little uptick in little minor brush fires, obviously. So please, obviously, watch where you're starting your vehicles, dry grass, you're disposing of cigarettes or cigars, things like that. It'll go up very quickly, unfortunately. So hopefully, like last night, we get some much needed rain over the next few days and some moisture back in the soil. Two other, I want to send some thank yous. Obviously, with the hot weather, when we've been out on calls, residents, business owners have come very graciously, bottles of water, Gatorade, while we're on call. So huge thank you to everybody for that. We really appreciate it. Keeping us hydrated as well. And also, I know it was from last meet, the June 13th meeting. I want to thank the board for the looking into that potential tax rebate program for volunteer firefighters, volunteer EMS. Anything, the county was a huge success, or the county program hopefully is going to be a huge success based upon the preliminary numbers. But I genuinely want to thank each and every one of the board members for recognizing it. Definitely is a testament to what you believe in public safety in this township. Thank you. And the final thing I'll end with is our second mailer for the fund drive. If you did not get the first one or missed the payment, second mailer hit the mailboxes, I believe, last week. So if you see it and so kind to make a donation to us, we greatly appreciate it. All I have, unless you have any questions.
Any comments?
Thank you.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.
Thank you so much.
That's all.
For your help, Patrick.
The end of our meat and potatoes section. All right. Any questions from residents on the director's reports? None here in the township building. Any in Zoom? If you could read that comment, I saw half of it before.
Dawn Cullen, thank you to our wonderful Thorndale Fire Company. Is that what it said?
Yes.
Came and went really fast.
Thank you to our wonderful Thorndale Fire Company. We appreciate you. From Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn. All right. Next, additional business. Have additional business at this time.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has worked so hard towards this picnic coming up. Just on behalf of the Historical Commission and the Friends of Smackman Davis Farm, 174 people have registered, and it's going to be a beautiful day. So everyone who's been involved and all the residents, thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Be fun.
If you didn't get your ticket, is it too late to get the ticket?
Pretty much, but if you send an email, we can maybe figure something out. Yeah. There's always, I might know somebody.
He's got connections. All right, any other additional business? None at this time. We'll go to public comment. Do we have any public comment this evening here in the township building? None at this time. How about in Zoom world? Huh? All right, well, last but not least, entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved in second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, meeting
Aye.
adjourned. Happy July 4th. Have a great weekend.
Be safe.
Thank you.